Men, what red flag did you ignore from the attractive girl? Case 1. Her mom told me straight up she's very manipulative. Now we're engaged with 3 kids and that was 4 years ago. Case 2. When I was about to propose to my now ex-wife, I did the traditional thing and asked her parents for their blessing. Her dad looked me in the eye and without explanation said, "Are you sure you really want to do this?" I laughed. "You didn't? I should have listened." Case 3. Every time we fought, she'd call her mom and within a minute, she'd hand me the phone while starting to go down on me as her mom lectured me about how I should treat her. Insane. Case 4. She took meds for anger issues, threw her phone against a wall, and threatened to end her life if I broke up with her. Soon after, I caught her cheating, so I texted her it was over and ghosted her. She replied, "I'm not some nobody you can dump by text." Case 5. She was obsessive, showing up unannounced when I was with friends or doing something else to surprise me. At first, I thought it was cute, but then she showed up at a gathering I hadn't told anyone about. Somehow she had a hunch I'd be there. Case 6. She was a real model, not the Instagram nonsense everyone claims today. I swear she had multiple personality disorder. One day, sweet southern accent, dresses, polite. The next, wearing super revealing clothes, acting wild, cursing like a Midwestern sailor. That's when I realized I needed to focus more on a woman's personality. Case 7. She was constantly on her phone, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. I can't stand people who can't put their phones down. We all use social media, but you know what I mean. I dated this woman and I couldn't take it anymore. We broke up because she cared more about Instagram and celebrities than her real life. Case 8. My ex would tell me she cheated just to see my reaction. She never actually did, it was all to make me jealous and manipulate me. One day she was so persistent I thought it was real. When I realized it wasn't and nearly cried from stress, she laughed like it was a hilarious joke. I told her to go to hell, walked out, and never looked back. Case 9. I met a girl who seemed so sweet I couldn't believe she had so many enemies. Then she got mad at me and her personality flipped 180 degrees. Not just anger but completely irrational, psychopathic behavior. Suddenly all the stories about her made sense. Case 10. She told me, "I don't like attachments, I think lying is fun, and I tend to sabotage every romantic relationship I'm in." I once dated 2 guys at the same time and tried sleeping with both in one day. It was thrilling. I focused on her honesty as a positive. Bad decision. Case 11. Most guys I know, including me, have fallen for an attractive girl with what I call zero accountability syndrome. It's never her fault, always her family, friends, coworkers, something else. If someone loves you, they'll own up when they hurt you. Case 12. Her social media was full of low-quality posts about fake friends causing drama, written in cursive. My brain knew it was a red flag, but my other head thought it knew better. Case 13. Days before our wedding, her dad told me she was a severe narcissist, incapable of loving anyone but herself. Looking back, it was all red flags, no green ones. She lied about everything, dated guys behind my back, promised to get help for her addiction but didn't, even hooked up with my best friend and lied about it. I ignored her lies because she was gorgeous. Case 14. Everything was one-sided and I felt guilty pointing it out, from intimacy to emotional openness. I tried talking about my persistent depression, but she made it about her and how it made her feel bad. Love is blind, but this opened my eyes. Case 15. My ex said she doesn't stay with guys long and always has a new boyfriend lined up. I don't know why I thought I'd be different. We started dating 2 weeks after her last breakup, not 2 months like she claimed. When we split years later, she was in a new relationship within a week with an online friend. That bullet won't hit me twice, but damn, I feel stupid for getting shot after she yelled she was aiming. Case 16. I'm blind to women who move alarmingly fast into relationships. I get swept up in the thrill of someone being interested in me. I've learned the hard way, if they don't take time to know you, they're not interested in you, just in being in a relationship. If you don't know them either, you'll miss a dozen red flags. Case 17. I struggle with setting and keeping personal boundaries. Even if I just want friendship, if someone shows interest, I can't say no. I'm working on this in therapy. Many guys struggle with boundaries. The first step is realizing it's our problem and our job to fix it. We can do it, sometimes with a little help. Case 18. After 3 weeks of dating, she told me, "My parents sent me to a reform school. I deserved it. My best friend ditched me because she says I'm a terrible person. Oh, and my husband, who I said I was divorced from. We're still married and I'm cheating on him with you. I was an idiot." Case 19. I'm pretty sure I caught her lying about trivial, pointless things to impress me or just impulsively. I ignored that and how she'd alienated everyone in her life. We started dating and I met her parents, not the messed up people she described, and her friends, not the bad influences she claimed. When she flipped out on me, got me fired from our job, and told my ex-manager I threatened her, I realized her lies could have been avoided if I'd used my brain instead of thinking with my pants. Case 20. In college, I was broke. In our first conversation, she wanted to take a 2,400-kilometer trip to see a baseball game. When I said I couldn't afford it, she asked, "Don't you have a savings account?" After the trip, she ghosted me. Case 21. My friend got a girl pregnant on their second date. He didn't know she smoked. He offered to marry her and she accepted. It was a financial disaster. She had $40,000 in non-school debt and owed $6,000 on a junk car. He paid it all off and gave her a weekly allowance. When their kid was 3, she said she'd saved $6,000 from the allowance to get a breast surgery back in her home state. She took the kid and never returned, filing for divorce. There are like 11 other stories about her. Case 22. I met a girl at work on a 3-month temp contract with a chance for permanence. She seemed sweet and we talked a lot. She quickly told me how an ex treated her badly and how she lost jobs for working too well and too fast, making coworkers look bad. It felt odd to hear this after 2 weeks, but I thought it was her way of coping. She also said she'd nearly been kidnapped multiple times. I brushed it off but kept a mental note. She talked to another coworker at first, but he backed off fast. We talked for 2 months until she grew distant, claiming migraines. When her contract wasn't renewed, her boss said she made too many mistakes despite warnings. She blamed me, saying I was too intense, and oppressed her by talking. My coworker later said she tried to paint me as a creepy stalker. Last I heard, she and her mom were escorted out of the office screaming on Valentine's Day. Case 23. For Valentine's Day, I drove her an hour and a half to a nice Indian restaurant to support her trying vegetarianism. I'd planned a surprise. The owner complimented her necklace, placed another on the table, and said it might look better, my gift. On the way home, she was quiet, then said she was confused, didn't enjoy it, and worried we were too different. She wasn't used to fancy food or dressing up. She'd thrown the necklace out the car window. I calmly asked where, spent 2 hours searching, and found it in someone's yard at 2 a.m. I returned it, saying I loved her and not to worry. Months later, she dumped me, admitting she cheated at least 6 times, wasn't attracted to me, but enjoyed the intimacy and wanted to be single. Case 24. She raged at a stranger in an online game for taking her main character, sabotaging our team to ensure we lost. I later found she had huge body image issues, shutting down emotionally with physical attention, so I couldn't even enjoy her attractiveness. Much later, I learned kindness is the most attractive trait. Case 25. I tried playing her mind games, thinking it was a fun challenge for 3 months. I thought she was unique, attractive, and knew what she wanted. I believed I was becoming a better, more socially skilled person. Nope, she drained all my love. I'm driven by love, and she left me with nothing. In mind games, it's win or lose, you're on opposing teams, and the issue is who comes out on top. She never stops playing. Your genuine affection doesn't matter. She sees you as playing too. She's not quirky or individualistic, just immature. It's like 4th grade recess, not how adults treat adults. Examples: Hot and cold behavior, rationing attention, calling other guys to make me jealous, cheating while rejecting them verbally, and spinning stories based on her mood. Case 26. A girl I was friends with for 6 years, my best friend for a long time, had multiple failed relationships. We tried dating since we had so much in common and trusted each other completely. Once I didn't laugh at her joke. I told her it was a bit embarrassing and not funny, no big deal. Apparently that was the worst crime imaginable. She ghosted me for 3 days, dumped me via Discord, not even a call, and said she'd give me a month to process. I realized she might be the problem in her failed relationships and told her so. She's a serial relationship saboteur. I told her not to bother replying after the month and she didn't. Case 27. On our first date she asked how much I earn. Decent but nothing crazy. She found out my parents are wealthy. She used me and my family for 7 years until she started making 6 figures. Her dad took his own life 3 days after she dumped me and she repeated the cycle. She wanted casual sex. I refused until I got fed up and told her to go to hell. Case 28. She was obsessed with her appearance. Tons of makeup, bad-mouthing other women's looks, watching modeling shows constantly, always talking about Instagram. I can't even recall what we did together in the same room. Once intimacy got boring, our relationship ended. I tried so hard to make it work, but I had no clue what to do. Case 29. An ex told me she's a liar and will hurt me, weeks after her ex warned me she cheated with him, expecting to get back together. She denied it. I ignored the red flag because she was gorgeous and fun. It all came crashing down and it hurt, but lesson learned. When someone tells you who they are, believe them.